were picked up promptly from one of the meeting points, as our hostel was not in the pickup zone. It was a little confusing as there were other groups gathering there. Thai kept in contact through WhatsApp and we found each other quickly. First, we went to the waterfall, then the highest point in Thailand with a nature walk. After that, we went to the twin supthas. The grounds and the supthas were beautiful. The story told in each was meaningful. There was an escalator up to each, but not down, so if you have mobility issues you'll want to consider this. We stopped for lunch outside the park gates and had a decent meal at a good price. Finally, we visited the Karen village and watched them weave, walked through some of the village and has some of their coffee which was strong and delicious. There were weaving and coffee to purchase to help support the village. It was a nice tour with Thai offering information and history along the way. The van was comfortable and water was offered. My brother and his partner arrived in Chiang Mai a couple of days after us and we recommended they take this tour. My only wish is that Thai would have asked that the guests introduce themselves and where they were visiting from to break the ice. It was a long day and no one spoke to anyone else until lunch, but just a little and then to say goodbye. Other than that, excellent excursion. Doi Inthanon is an experience not to be missed if you're in Chiang Mai, especially if you enjoy being in nature. My two sisters and I were picked up from our hotel, right on time, by the ever-smiling and helpful Avi. Avi's calm, gentle, and friendly demeanor eased interactions between 9 absolute strangers who found themselves together, and his jokes gave us something to laugh about. Our experience of the Wakai Rathan waterfall and the summit of Doi Inthanon was awe-inspiring. The 2 short trails we walked at the Doi were easy and can be accomplished by most people. You just need to remember to wear suitable shoes. What was extraordinary was the fauna that greeted us in the trails. You could breathe in the fragrant jungle and take in the silence and serenity that only comes in the unspoiled wild. The twin pagodas at the end were also very beautiful. The most interesting part of the tour was visiting a Karen village and experiencing their simple lives. We got introduced to native coffee growers and had a lovely coffee tasting experience. I ended up buying a lot of it. However, the entire trip was made absolutely special by how much care Avi took of each and every passenger, making sure that there were appropriate restroom breaks and helping each of us with our lunch order. By the end of the trip, Avi seemed more like a friend than a guide. I took the Doi Inthanon eco-friendly tour in March and really enjoyed it. Everything was well planned and easy to follow, which I appreciated. Our guide, Nana, was such a kind woman, very helpful and shared a lot of interesting information about the local culture and nature. One of my favorite parts was the walk through the forest Anka Trail. It was so calm and beautiful and not too difficult to walk either. The views from the twin pagodas and the highest point in Thailand were absolutely lovely. It was nice to take our time and really soak it all in. Lunch was simple but delicious and I appreciated that everything felt very local and not touristy. The van was clean and comfortable and we were always on time. I felt safe and looked after throughout the day. I'd definitely recommend this tour, especially if you enjoy nature and learning about different cultures. A fantastic trip to the national park. We visited 2 waterfalls, the twin pagodas, and had a delicious lunch in a nearby village. We also got to learn about how coffee was made in Thailand, had a taster of a few different teas/coffees. The whole day was very comfortable. We were driven to each location and were guided by our wonderful guide, Nana. She was informative and so much fun, making the trip super enjoyable. Definitely recommend.